Molweni bantu basekhaya. My name is Thami Mbongo. Welcome to the stage of the arts. Mbongo lo umbuyisa uzalwa ngapha. Welcome to the show State of the Art with Thami Mbongo. This show is brought to you by the Creative Passport, which is a newly registered company by 5 cultural and creative industry practitioners from different provinces in South Africa. These practitioners have met during an AC sit-in. They include Uslobo Mampaga, who's a visual artist all the way from Limpopo. There's also Utepo Theodore Muhlale, who's a performance and public art, Usuka ngapha eMpumalanga, and then we've got Yul Hetman, originally from Western Cape, but I'm going to say Johannesburg, we dancer, we choreographer. We've got Pakama Olutusoko, who's the arts administrator, and myself, Thami Mbongo. So these artists met during the NAC sit-in and decided to put it. It's very important for South African artists to collaborate and do more in bringing our skills and knowledge together. We are very excited about some of the lineup projects and programs that we will be doing as the Creative Passport beyond just the State of the Art with Thami Mbongo. We will announce them at the end of this month. Our team has been working very hard to push numbers on our YouTube channel. We are targeting by the end of this September to achieve about 1,000 subscribers. So we encourage everyone to make sure that you subscribe so that we can meet our target. Today, our guest, 20 years of direct involvement in the community arts development. In 2006, Loyiso Damoyi established Africa Jam Arts Project in Khayelitsha that has introduced many young people to the mainstream theater and television. In 2011, Loyiso Damoyi was the first-time winner of Zavalaza Festival at the Baxter Theatre Center with his play that he wrote and directed titled Uhlazo, which also taught and was performed at the Sibikwa Art Center in Benoni, Upper Joburg. He pianoed a rural outreach project that create platforms for rural youth to have access to basic theatrical training. This project has been implemented in 16 rural communities. Loyiso Damoyi also coaches and writes monologues for youth when they go to audition. He is currently running a youth center in Khayelitsha, Ekapa, on a daily basis, teaching and mentoring youth and inviting other practitioners to work with the youth to advance their knowledge in different forms of art. Loyiso Damoyi is a theater practitioner, arts writer, director, entrepreneur, the founder and the director of Ubuntu Bike Tour, and a community developer. Ikesiethu is very passionate about development, very passionate about youth, very passionate to see abantu succeed in life. He is currently the African People's Convention, APC, acting chairperson in the Western Cape. Loyiso Damoyi is currently running for local government election year 2021 as Ward Councillor, Ward 97, and also the big one is he's also running on behalf of APC as a mayor candidate for the city of Cape Town. Loyiso Damoyi, welcome to the show, my brother.
That.
Kunjani?
Yeah, I'm fine,
I am good. Thank you very much for agreeing to come to the show, my brother. So this show is called State of the Arts. We will cover some of the issues around arts and to hear your views on some of these things. Let us take it from the top, my brother. Tell us more about the formation year, Africa Jam in Khayelitsha, and how over the years this organization has been doing.
I think the formation of the Africa Jam, and let me put it this way, it started from a dark place in my life, if that makes sense. You know, growing up, and you start exploring things, you know, experiencing things in the street. You know, there's always a big argument with that. Like I'm a kaya that don't have father figures. Yeah, and then mostly young boys, they have no direction or structure. Yeah. Uh, but for me personally, that was fun too, because when my dad left, you know, I was kind of left in the street. Yeah, but because I didn't have someone coaching me anymore, I'll come to so it's when then I left the community because of troubles that I got myself into. And I found this young lady then who saw the talent in me after I visited a camp. And, you know, she said, you know what, you are very creative and very talented, and you have leadership within you. You just have to get somebody to coach you and work this thing that is inside you. So that's when I launched out my life, and I came back to the community. Then I said, you know what, I wanted to provide young people, more especially those who live in families that don't have father figures. As from today, young people, they call me Uteti. You understand? And it's a nickname that I know. I did not ask them to call me that, but it was just my availability to them was that of a father figure, because it's what I was missing in my life. It's what I was um, I'm looking for the English word, but in Doput Bendi, I was, I don't know, English is not for us, but it's something I can resonate with. That's the word I was looking for. You understand? So I started then out of my natural knowledge. You see things on TV, and at school I was doing arts. I remember, oh, Putra Star will come, or I forgot this other guy. And Kuma and I were in the same class, Kuma Sopotela, in high school in Lusaza, because I went to school with her. Because you know, I'm a very bad actor, so I didn't get like a lot of roles. So I was doing extra, but I was passionate about. I was passionate about directing. You know, I was passionate about putting things together. You know, so I came home after school. Then I started, you know, after school programs, taking exactly what I was learning and teaching and applying, you know. And Umamu Usmazo, if she was here, she will call us Onotula, you know, doing those, you know, small things that you don't even know what you're doing, you know, but there's no one to coach you and say, this is good. But what was driving me was that I knew what I was doing was missing in my township. And it was necessary because I have an eye to see talents. You know, even though I'm not a good actor, but I can spot a good actor. This one will go far. So that's how Africa Jam actually started. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much for that background. And I'm sure you're speaking just for those who are not from Cape Town or Khayelitsha, because the show is watched by a broader audience. You understand? Loyiso was talking about some of the legends that have pushed like a theater in Khayelitsha, like Simasa May or Themba Baleni, and there are so many more. And like as you were saying, he started with about Tuma Sopotela and mentioned the late Uzoleka Helisi, who was also involved in Sabalaza, who passed away. Loyiso, and then now let's go. You've got this outreach program that you are very passionate about every year. We understand that you pack your bags, you take a team, you go to Eastern Cape. Can you tell us more about this outreach program?
Okay. You know, when you work in a community, when I put Thami, most especially in a community, a township, a kasi, you understand? Our young people have a tendency of thinking, because I come in one of the poor communities, you know, I am poor and I need handouts. You understand? I need somebody to help me, you know. I'm not enough in a way. So my first outreach, it was actually for the young people that I was working for. You know, because when I like coming from the Eastern Cape and Sebenza Nabandwana, Base, Cape Town, we have never some of them been even in the rural area. They don't know how fortunate they are. You know, I always have a belief that you don't know how fortunate you are until you see somebody who's lesser fortunate than you, if that makes sense. So I booked a van. I think first of us the first year there was about 40 something of us, some vehicle and another taxi. Went to the Eastern Cape, you know. So I was taking young people that had nothing to give back because they didn't have money, and I wanted to be that way. That the only thing you can give back is your services, is yourself. You know, you can love someone who is, you know, on a below than you. Another black child that, oh, Amanganya, were you wearing, where you have two pairs of sneakers. You understand? And I wanted that to be personal. You know, I didn't tell them, you know, leave your shoes or don't wear your fancy stuff. You know, just the nature of being there and for them to see how much other kids are unfortunate. They felt ashamed. They took off their shoes on their own. They were wearing bare feet. They gave, you know, they started giving their belongings, of which I didn't even ask them to share. You understand? But the most important thing was that the theater that we're doing, or the little knowledge that we have, it came to a rural area whereby there was not even a knowledge. They didn't even know, you know, they'll sing songs from the church, you know. So we felt like we were loaded with information, you know. You know, the Bible speaks about that when you bless, your cup will overflow. Does it make sense? So if when Thami, you're full of knowledge, you know, so your knowledge have no choice but to overflow. And the overflow, it goes to beyond. If you get good, you understand, we get to taste the bit of what you know. That's why you are one of the great mentors, you understand? Because your cup overflows. You're always learning stuff, but you don't keep it half. You don't keep it to yourself. You let it overflow. So that's what happened in the Eastern Cape. And we've been running that project now every year, ever since I don't know what it is, but I think it's been 16 years of doing that. You know, and so as it grows, we'll look for people that we know. At least if you take this one in Kapia Kitwell, you need to go offload the Eastern Cape. And we always tell artists, you know, we can't pay you. You know, we took guys like Ubongile Mansai, you understand? And he's a great guy, but you know his cup is full. That guy will give all he has to the community. You take a guy like Upizo Uzo Lanipono, you know his cup is full. He will overflow. You take a guy like Umpundo Asha, who's been in the industry for years. You know his cup. So those are the things that we've been doing. You know, we wanted it to be personal. It was never about money that, hey, we'll pay you. In fact, you pay to come to the outreach, you know, as if when I put time you come, say, you need to pay for your trip. You understand? You pay 400 rand because at least we get a vehicle that can take you there, but you contribute. The important thing is to make it personal, helping other black child who is, you know, in need, if I can put it that way.
Wow. Loyiso, because I have been following the program, doing really amazing work. But my next question is, we've got funding bodies, we understand that, like about National Arts Council, about Lottery, even in the Eastern Cape, you've got a Department of Arts and Culture. Are you receiving any support from them in terms of these great initiatives that you are doing out there? How are you surviving to sustain this project?
Definitely, Butami, we're not receiving anything. I think the last fund we got was with when we did a project with UPKS, Edison, and I think we were very much instrumental in helping us, because sometimes as community, you know, art projects, you know, or these organizations that we have, you know, we might be strong on the field, you know, in implementing things, but we might not be strong in on the paperwork, you understand? And you find that even getting those services from other people is expensive. Now you need to pay somebody to go. You pay someone who's going to go and ask money on your behalf. You understand? Yeah. So those were the tricky things that we're still suffering from as community. Otherwise, we have great work, great concepts, but we lack when it comes to, the paperwork of things, So as much as, I don't want to blame too much and say, we've been knocking door to door on my side, in terms of our paperwork, we lack a lot of assistance. Yeah, because I'm not a paperwork guy. Put me on the field, then I'll do magic for you. So the answer in the short way, it's no. But we're not that far off in terms of the paperwork, because we registered, everything is complete. We just have to know how to write this proposal, who to talk to. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we live in the country whereby if you don't know somebody that knows somebody, you'll eat crimes of other people. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe platforms like this will help us to know who to talk to, instead of taking with the security guard, or on the gate, want to talk to the CEO. You understand? Because sometimes we get to a place whereby we don't have funding, but you don't give the funding. Let me speak to the person who's responsible, but if you don't know those processes, then yes, course actua ufana mtanyana.
So people out there, if you are watching this interview, so please make sure you keep in contact with Loyiso Damoyi, your Facebook, Loyiso Damoyi, NS Damoyi, so that you can see how you can assist. You understand that? Because it's running a very amazing project in Eastern Cape every year. And most of us are coming from Eastern Cape. Singazenzi clever, Kasisi Makapa, Nasisi Majobek, and Eslali. So this project happens every year, whereby Loyiso is giving back, you understand, that, to the community through sport and arts and culture activities. Mr. Damoyi, in 2011, you wrote a play and directed a play, which became the first winner, Yezabalaza Festival at the Baxter Theatre Center. So since 2011, now we are in 2021. We understand that. Are there any achievements that you feel proud? You understand that, looking at the actors that you work with in that 2011, and also looking at your growth, because as Zabalaza, because I was involved in Zabalaza at the time as the artistic director from 2010 to 2017, and one of the mission of the Zabalaza, it was saying give, gain, and grow. You understand? So in your take, ever since you won first Zabalaza in 2011, are you seeing, did you gain? Did those artists gain? Did they grow? How much they've grown in the industry? Feel free to unpack, to say, Ubani has achieved this and blah, blah, blah. It's your platform. Thanks.
Dangi, Butami. I think for me, it's always, again, a matter of, I'm glad you're not talking about success, but you're more talking about the experience that I've gained. You understand? Because I wouldn't want to measure and say I'm a successful person. However, in terms of the question that you're asking me, my heart was for the community, for the word go. My heart was to set up, as I said, you understand? A father is not a selfish person. For your kids to gain, you understand? So yes, of course, I can look back and say, you know what, I'm glad I started that program. I'm glad I did not give up, even though I didn't have knowledge. I'm glad I saw that opportunity as a Balaza, and I grabbed it without saying, you know what, I'm not good enough. Do you understand? Because understanding concept as a Balaza was saying, we want Kanye good enough. We want to work with you. We want you to grow. You understand what I'm saying? So when I look back, I get emotional and I get happy at the same time. Like currently, I receive a call I think it was 2 days ago, I received a call from the Zabalaza office, and behind the phone is the girl who was playing in the very same play at 2011. You understand? And she's working there. You understand? And if that opportunity did not present itself to us, I don't think Unontsikelelo Maposa will be working for the Zabalaza today. You understand what I'm saying? But now she can have a reference and say, this is who I am, and seeing its CVs, Zabandwana, who more especially are involved in arts, they're getting thicker and thicker because of that one step they took in getting involved. You look at Abandana Bafanano Awe to Seli, who are doing absolutely great. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're taking the industry by storm, most especially they're independent. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so yes, and it was not only arts, because I always teach them, you know what? I'm not good in acting, but I can do things, I can work with actors. You can be part of this program. You see guys like, Ulunga too, you understand? That guy cannot act to save his life, but is one of the best engineers. Do you understand? He has worked for Izabalaza in lights, he has worked. He's a phenomenal guy when it comes to putting things together, working backstage. Do you understand? And for me, that is growth. There's a guy, Uneo Mpunga, who is one of the kids that came from Africa Jam. He called me and said he's writing a movie. He currently lives in America. He said, I'm writing a movie, and I know this young man could never ever thought of writing movies or be involved in even thinking of writing movies if he was not involved in the program. Do you understand what I'm saying? But because he knows I'm a writer, he says, you know what? This portion of writing, it's for you, Dad. I know this one I'm giving to you, but the rest of the movie, I'm going to write it on myself, And Butami, I was so proud. I didn't even ask him that I want involvement, because in all the young people I've worked with, I always tell myself that, glory, everything to God. You understand? I don't want any piece of nothing from you. All I want is for you to be successful. And the list is long. Some of them have ventured to being school teachers. Ubone Namdana he's involved. She's involved in arts. Do you understand? So it's a yeah. I don't know. I can answer this question for days. So to make it short, I see it in myself as well. You understand? Have I achieved anything personally? No, but I think I've made a great reference for myself. That at least when Ubuntu speaks about me, there is an element of respect. I'm no longer the young boy that didn't have even value in my community. That was was involved in a lot of nonsenses. Now Ikamalam is amongst the names that you can say as Uputami, if Indo Loyiso, I trust it. Do you understand what I'm saying? As if Loyiso gets involved in that thing, it must be a proper thing. Even as a community, in my community, if Indo to Damoyi, if Ukona, I trust this thing. So and it's because of programs like getting involved, like Koma Zabalaza, and and they build your name in a way that if Ungumundu who is not wise, you can easily get carried away. You always say to us, whatever you do, don't get big-headed. And you always see it as a joke, you understand? But it's a reality that as artists, sometimes we need humanity, that whatever God put us, we don't become bigger than the projects we do. We don't become bigger than the community we involve in. We always see ourselves as humble. So I think out of that, I've gained my humanity. I've gained who I am. A lot of people, they miss the identity. I know who I am. I can say it because of that.
Wow, thank you very much, Loyiso. To everyone that is watching, Izabalaza, it's a Baxter Theatre Center Development Program. Currently, it's running the season for the best production. I think this year they've selected about 4 production and it's currently running. So I'll encourage everyone in Cape Town, if you're around Cape Town, go and see. because it's a development program that most of the artists were coming through. So this is not a sponsored advert. You understand that this is just a free advertisement for Impact Theatre. You understand? Because I think it's an amazing program. So please do support it. Loyiso, my next question, I'm glad you understand that you speak about community. You understand that? I remember I used to have a big fight, you understand that, with people about the term community theater, community arts development, and all that. And I always say, like, for example, in University of Cape Town, they used to have a course in community theater, but that's not a community theater. You are just teaching people how to work, you understand, in the community, because community, Constantia is a community. You understand, now about attendants, when they speak about community theater, as if they speak about struggling, disadvantaged community. So in your take, I want to hear you. What is your take? What makes a good community arts developer in your take? I'm sure you've experienced some good ones and some bad ones, but what is your take? Your community arts developer. What makes a good and a bad one, if there's a bad and a good one?
I think on top of my head, if we were to prioritize things, one, as a community art developer, understand? For me, you cannot be sitting in the office in town and speak of a community as if you know the community. You cannot develop anything that you do not plant. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Yeah. So you must be somebody that is able to come to a community and plant a seed. Those guys who work in the community to plant seeds. You understand? As you say, there's normally these huge debates whereby big institutions, because they have funding, they can brand these artists and make them look so good for themselves, as if, look at what we have discovered. You understand? And we found this in the community, but you didn't find this artist just wandering around the community. There was a structure that this person was involved in. It can be a minor structure, it can be, but you found this person somewhere. That person, it's like Lando Butami, people that disregard abantu that works as glitch. So if you teach a high school, that means you are the better teacher than or teacher of foundation level. You understand what I'm saying? So it begins there as a person that is a community developer, as a person that knows the community, not only the thing that is developing. Because how develop umntana Butami, umbalekisa kwinto ezininzi. You understand? I'm saying I became a father figure. You understand? I have to tell you, Awe to listen. For you to be successful, you understand? You need not to fall pregnant. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to avoid A and B and C in your life. I think today, that education, you got it from the ground. And this institution, it's in a way, but forget of which it's beautiful because we work together. So that's how I can explain a good community developer, someone that is from that community, knows the community, knows the children, knows the parent of those kids, knows the background of those child. You understand? Because then you design a program that is suitable for that particular child. You become personal with that child, specific child's development. You understand? Who's not an actor, Awe, who's a great actor, who's a school teacher. You understand what I'm saying? All this, they come to the same program. You're not making great artists, but you're developing an industry that will be well established. You understand? You can sit in the office and answer phones and type things. That child needs to be developed in a way that wherever you go, if acting does not work for you, you understand? You can do A and B and C. That's what makes a good community developer. Someone that has an eye, you understand? And to shape, not with money, because it has a lot to do with leadership. Does make what I'm saying? You know, being able, because as a leader, you have to you have to be able to the youth that you lead in a future that they didn't even know. You have to tell them they're going to be a great actor and make them believe until they achieve it. Do you understand? So if a bad community developer is somebody that just takes money, you can't develop a community unless you get offered something. Do you understand what I'm saying? There must be a price tag with it, you know? And most institutions, they make these mistakes. They employ people there to say, okay, we're doing a program, go work in that community. You understand? Go work in that community. You understand? It's good, it's work for our Black people that come to our communities. But what about you saying how many art institutions are in the communities? Can we get someone that we can train, maybe bring them into us, and we employ that very same person to work in his very same community? That makes what I'm saying. So that we don't miss out. You know, I remember me working for Africa Jam. I worked for so many years without getting paid. You understand? As umsebenzi wami uprogressa and Africa Jam is getting more and more fundings and people interested in Africa Jam, that's when I was the first preference to say, okay, Loyiso, now we can employ you. Now you can get paid. Do you understand? I will fight my nails and my everything if they would have said, now we have money, we're going to get somebody from there to come and work here as your manager. That's how it does not work like that in the community. I hope that makes sense.
No, it does, and you are raising some very valid points, especially when it comes to institutions. You will get this big institution like claiming that they have made so and so, and forgetting who so and so is coming from a so-called community group or community theater group, and those people that are working behind the scene, you understand, are grooming these people. They are not seen in the industry. Like if you look for example, in Cape Town or all over, we understand, we've got so many alternative spaces. You understand that most of these institutions, instead of supporting them, you understand that they are feeling in a competition.
Definitely.
Like for example,
in most cases, the institutions, you understand what I'm saying? Either they don't want to coexist with us, you understand, without them, but that you don't appear as umdu or exercise. Does it make sense? So they take all these community developing organizations, they make them their little projects. You understand what I'm saying? So now you become, all of a sudden now you have to answer to so and so. Then he was never there, or he or she was never there when you started this thing, and you find out, and this person is not helping you with anything. It's just you need to give a report. Yeah, maybe there's a step here and there, or life, or an opportunity that you're gonna go perform there. You understand? So we end up selling our community to institutions that they're not even helping us. You understand? There are many opportunities. You know, Umandis was one of the guys who started projects, you understand, of building theaters. You know, yes, few institutions they help along, but while the rest were sitting and saying, okay, that thing ends the Japan, if we let it happen, we might not get audience coming from Khayelitsha to town because they will have their own theaters there. You understand? Because we are the ones that are filling the theaters. In most Black shows that are happening in town, they are mostly filled by us in the community. I don't want to get too personal, man, for Thami. Okay, let me give it to you. I'm getting...
No. It's fine. In this show, it's called State of the Art. If you're not getting personally, or we talk about these things, and then we are not talking about the state of the art. You understand? Yeah. And I was going to say, I remember when we were approached to do Izabalaza with myself and the late Zoleka Helesi and Bomi Lemantai. And one of the things that we introduced, we said to Guti, it's high time this institution go back to the community and not expect the community to always go to them. That is when I remember in Zabalaza we introduced what is called mini festivals. These mini festivals, one of the aim was to inspire, we understand, about the community to realize what we can make a theater. Look what happened to spaces like Mabukanye Art Room, you understand? Whereby after the mini festival, people, you get an idea of what the theater is possible anyway. You understand how far that work has taken. Have we seen Artscape Theatre going to PAL or whatever, you understand, to Khayelitsha to see? Have we seen in Joburg, we've got a guy, Police Masilela, he's running TX Theatre in Tembisa. Are we seeing these big theatres to say, for example, Loyiso, you understand, we are going to change his seats now. We are donating our seats to a community space, or we are going to change in a way, we understand. Are we seeing that enough, or can you feel, or go to this institution, especially the state-funded theaters? We understand, are they doing enough to assist, we understand, the work that is done in communities? Or can you push the agenda yabo, what is your take?
No, they are pushing their agenda. I don't know how many times I've seen online whereby institutions are taking in, like the stuff they were using when they're renovating. You see them back auction. You understand what I'm saying? So you question them, where are we going as the art? You understand? Are we forever gonna be gap fillers in their institutions? You know, instead of us, you know, it's either we coexist or we work together, or they just fund the community. Do you understand what I'm saying? But on the other side, you know, because as an entrepreneur, I always look for challenges to solve. Do you understand? Because I don't really like handouts. Do you understand what I'm saying? It gives us community, you understand, an opportunity to do us in the community. We just need to get along, Tina, up in the community. And then you see how many buses will go to their theaters. You know, how many seats will be filled. Then they can fill their own theaters, Kabandu Babo, with their shows. And then we make our own theaters here. But that's just an option. Yeah, if they really don't want to get along. You understand? Otherwise, this thing will go on and on and on and on. If they give you something, you must give something back. You understand? That you get for free. You must be always give something. There's something, maybe you need to sell 5 artists to them for them to sponsor you. You need to twist some of the things, of which that is totally not fair. Yeah.
So Loyiso, you are bringing me to the next question. Yeah, you understand that when you were talking about the entrepreneurship, you understand a businessman. I wanted to know from you the importance of an artist to start to think business-minded. You understand? Because I'm aware you started, like, for example, Ubuntu Bike Tours. We have, for an example, how does that is assisting you? You understand, in your artistic work? I know you spoke about Umandi Sisindo. Mandi Sisindo is having selling umchita and is involved in other business ventures that are also boosting the arts. Police Masilela wants to become the next billionaire or millionaire and is working towards that every day. But for you, how is it important for artists, especially young upcoming ones, to understand the business side of the arts and how to sustain their art without depending too much to government and these entities?
Maybe let me start off by saying this, Mbongo. You understand? As an artist, ungavumi mntaka mama, they bakunarrowishe. You understand? Because sometimes they always want to box us as artists that we cannot live outside art. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once Umandis start selling clothes, now it becomes like, yo, hi Umandis, opportunities, you understand? It's the worst mentality of Black people, how they label each other when you're not boxing yourself as an artist. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So for me, when I started Ubuntu Bikes, it was a matter of how do I generate profits because I cannot pay artists, right? I do not get to perform mainstream theaters with these artists. You understand? But I know the work that we produce here is good enough that we can create our own shows. All right. So I had this idea, you know what, if I can start a business that can bring a total different market, you know, an international market that will appreciate this art that is not appreciated within our own province. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So I was a creative. I didn't want to do tours as a normal tour. You know, I saw an opportunity because there's road almost tourist speaking yeah, more special in the past. Yeah. And when I ask people, because I'm fortunate to know some of the guys that are doing Ezizindo, you understand? And their point of view was very simple in a way, but very doable. That you know what, when Sidro bypass actually tourists, in our state of mind, we think it's full of money, you understand? And one of the worst things is that we feel insulted because they're taking pictures of us while they're in the bus, as if to say a zoo. It's only the Zoomers who are mangala track and take pictures because you cannot get out because it's dangerous. You understand? So why are we being treated? We're not animal, you know? So I thought, you know what, if then I can introduce this thing here by whereby these guys, they come with bikes in the community. One is called this guy is not carrying any valuable. Whatever, then I said, agapetanga any money, there's no need. And if bike is accessible, and talk to anyone in the corner. I'm in control of we can do whatever with the bike. Yeah. But most part of it, the end goal was that when they get to the after school program, my kids can perform for them, and then in that way they can generate profit. You know, are we able to sustain the center? We're able to buy amakubu, able to buy things, and eliminate in the of go and begging. You understand? Or I remember we tried fasting. You understand? At that time, fasting even if you waterfront, zero with as artists, but as a sport, this is the best sport. Waterfront, you understand? And sit down, permit doesn't allow you to be close. A Camps Bay. You need to be up one day. Like imagine you performing and you performing for band restaurant. You cannot even be close. You understand? I was like, no, we need to find a mechanism to bring these guys to us. You understand? So when we're there, we'll push flyers and say, you know what, come to township tours, and we'll charge them 700 a person. You know, so don't mind about, you know, being chased away as towns Abelungu. Then Abelungu, they'll come to us because Bonanga will have South Africa. They don't know the troubles that we're going through. You understand? They will come anyway. And that has worked so well for Thami. As a result, some of the people, because I know sometimes when you do a tour, in most cases you do tour for multi-billionaires. As a for a tour, that what you need or what this child needs. That's how other kids got funded. I think whoever get the let's say this boy Mike, yeah, you understand? He's very good in mathematics. You understand? But he can't, you know, go to school because of this and this and this. In most funding that we got, it was more a personal funding than an institution funding us. I think, okay, no, I can pay for his studies until he finishes the school. There's a young man who was very good in math. Today, that young man is a doctor. We call him and say, listen, Mamula presentation, and it's a boy that came from the program. You understand? And I'm not creating these things, but these are the opportunities that comes with bringing internationals in the work that we do. Finding creative ways of, doing funding. You understand? One will say, listen, I'll buy you guys a costume. You understand? It's -1 problem. One will say, I'll do A, Y, and B. But you always tell them 10% of the money that you're making, the 700, but 10% of it goes straight to the program. Yeah, but you just need not to be selfish. You need to keep your word and be always credible and do what you say will do. So that's why for me it's important that you need to get involved in business as well. Don't be a lazy artist. Be a working artist. Don't be narrow-minded. You understand? Look at the opportunities that come with what you're doing. Because artists, we don't want to take them for granted. They need to get paid, and they need to get paid well. It's only then and then that you'll find a paying job. Yeah, but in most cases, you need to create your own work. Be a creative. You are a creative for a reason. That's why you call yourself a creative. It's not only in writing, it's not only in creating work, but your mind, it's a mind. God gives you a certain way of thinking so that you can see all these angles. Yeah.
Siyabulela kakhulu Loyiso. As Loyiso esitsho ukuthi as a creative you need to create. So ngalo mazwi sithi nawe ke ungahlali nje ungasubscribe kwi-channel. We are not taking this to SABC or Mzansi. It's a YouTube channel that is created by the creatives. So support the creatives and subscribe. Mr. Damoyi, now let's move on into the politics. You joined in politics and out of the parties in South Africa, you did not join the top 3, Labo ANC, our TP, our EFF. You went to join African People's Convention, ANC, Mr. Nelson Tembakodi. So everyone might be asking, Uguti, why APC? Can you unpack Uguti? Why? You understand that people, especially coming from the artists and blah blah blah. Why APC? So maybe opportunity hapo yo change sumbucho
I think I'll answer this first on a personal level. And I said, my leader, let me answer it on a personal level first. Yeah. As I was unpacking here, things that I've done, and I said, of course, I think out of this interview, Abandu can really maybe see that I've done a lot of work in the community. Yeah, without any political alignment. Does it make sense? I've never received money from politics. I've never been part of any political party in a way that I'm using their influence. And I've been very careful in doing that. Yeah, in a sense. So for me to join politics, I had to think very careful in terms of who do I align myself with. Do you understand? As I said, there's many big political parties. You understand? And most of the time, what makes political parties big, it's the money, the position they have, the influence they have. You understand? And the longevities they have within the political structure. So interesting, I did a lot of approaches from different political parties. Is good, you understand? But there are those people tell me that will say, this one, if I join, it's most likely that my credibility, everything I've worked for, will go down the drain. You understand? Everything I've worked for, it's either my reputation is going to have a huge dent. You understand? Because one, you cannot tell who's who. But you understand? So it's not my cup of tea because I'm always careful in what I involve myself into. So here comes a deputy president of the APC, who happens to be a time of a friend. You understand? And I was like, he was like approaching me as well. I said, okay, because I'm a reader, I need to go read and understand what's going on. Yeah, I did that, and I said to him, hey, I will listen more to your president, because what I believe when I put time, you know, as Loyiso Damoyi, nah, the young people that I work with, yeah, in a sense, in most cases, I will deposit myself into them. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So sometimes in you will find that ulungisa usebenza at the same time. You understand? I remember when I used to be with you almost every day. Yeah, every time when you have to stand, yeah, and people can recognize, hey, Lelwana has been working with Thami for so long. You understand? Because it's not like something that you teach me, but it's something that I recognize, and because you are leading me in that process. So you can easily deposit yourself with that kind of person. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So coming to the political parties, I was really interested to meet Themba Koti in person. Yeah, and get that sense, what kind of leader are you when you're outside the TV? When you're not in public, you understand? And I remember when I was in Joburg, when I made that commitment that yes, I am joining this group and this organization. It's when I met Themba Koti personally. I felt he was a very humble man, very incredible leader. You understand? A very soft-spoken. Umoya wami naye nje wanqamelana, because iBhayibheli ithi imimoya iyathungelana, deep call unto deep. I can good and that's in the Shumayel. Yeah, but it's one of those things that said, okay, I am aligning myself not only with the party, but this man is the man that I want him to lead me. You understand? Because in his leadership, I'm able to get what I want. You understand? And have people that, because I know Abantu Abanis, they join APC because Loyiso Pagat, they trust my leadership. You understand? So as a leader, I need to be very careful who leads me. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So that's my personal joining the APC. Yeah. So when I check around, hey, and these guys are not found in many problems. You understand? They are not in the court of laws. According to the man called by President Koti uyoxoxa state capture uyoxoxa ufumansekile, you understand, uwenze le na le, you understand? So I make that choice based on that personally. You understand? And of course, politically, when I read, you understand, what it stands for politically, it's what I said, okay, definitely I would love to see this for my Black people. You understand? I would love to see my Black people being respected in their own soil. You understand? I would love my Black people to live equally. You understand? To get actually the real services that they deserve. You understand? Yeah, so hence I joined the APC. And one of the things that really made me to say yes is the fact that APC, it's not big in the Western Cape. Yeah, and it was a very exciting thing that, you know what, I get to be part of something that I know how it got, that, you know, I'm part of making it bigger. You understand? I'm part of strengthening, I'm part of developing the Western Cape. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Clear, and I think you are raising a very important thing when you start with a personal take, you understand? Because I always discuss, like in Western Cape, I remember, I consulted all the top 3 organizations, ANC, DA, EFF, and asked them, what are your policies in terms of arts and culture? I can tell you, Loyiso, you understand, those political parties, you understand, sometimes bateta big or comment when there are issues, you understand, but when you go to the party, you understand, a party ainazo is in that are speaking to is in those arts, you understand. So I always challenge the artists when we vote, you understand that whether you understand that you're voting loyalty or you're voting because you feel out this political party, at least you understand that they are talking about when it comes to art. My next question to you, do you feel ukuthi artists must align themselves with political parties? What are advantages and disadvantages? Because, like, for example, Loyiso, ngoku siyayazi ukuthi uLoyiso yi-APC, you understand? Bazavalela phandle uceba be-ANC, bazavalela phandle uceba be-TA, and so you understand? Because you have aligned yourself with a political party, or you think ukuthi it's a free country. Abantu abafuna uzi-align ne-political party, let them go. What is your take, my brother?
I think my take again, Thami, is gonna be on my personal belief. Do you understand? There's a song, be bright in the corner where you are. Do you understand? There's a scripture, nilukhanyiselo lehlabathi. You understand? So I believe wherever I am, you understand, I need to share a light. You can put me in politics. Yeah, I have enough power to make influences within the political party. That's why I'm in politics, because I believe there are things that the political parties are really blindsided in terms of in terms of the art. You understand? But I have so much faith in myself that me being inside, I can do a revolutionary change. You know, I can convince them to say, you know what, this is where we are currently. You understand? And you're gonna see when it comes to manifesto yet, which is coming up on the 24th. You understand? What we speak about arts. You understand? And that thing was not there unless Loyiso Damoyi was part of it. And I cannot compromise because my light must shine. They must know we have asked you to become here. I remember saying to Tipini City, you know what? Once I say yes to APC, you must know I come with a lot of things that I am. I don't come to be yes, pass, no, say, yes, sir. You understand? I'm a very creative person. What Loyiso, you take your space, do what you need to do. And in APC, I have that freedom to create. You understand? I do things that even the political, you know the programs of the politicians most. It's maybe door to door. Yeah, I'm coming with creative things, and my political parties allow me to do that. They can't say, no, you cannot do that. No, comrade, you cannot do that. As long as it's not denting the party, because the party is bigger than all of us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, artist, align yourself, but if you fit enough, you understand? Because you cannot be a pushover baby in this thing. You understand? Because someone's gonna insult you, someone's gonna talk bad about you. As a teacher, someone's gonna, yeah, but you understand? I know how to be rejected. You understand? I told you my father left me. Why I'm 10 years. For longest time, I've been rejected by my own father. You understand? So rejection to me, it's like something that I'm trained. It doesn't offend me. You understand? Once I align myself with something, I go, Baba. You understand? I go for it. I go for the kids. Yeah. You listening to so on my Facebook, Umfundo just joined. Umfundo Ash. Yeah. Umfundo is a great guy. He's a great guy. He might not be. I was saying when you're meeting at Oklahoma, there might not be a great politician. You understand? But I know my community inside and out. The rest I'll learn as especially am. Yeah. Some of them, but no, Loyiso, you're too young. You understand? Yeah. But I'm telling them, the Bible tells me, don't let them tell you that you're too young. You understand? You're born for such time as this. Yeah. Everybody started somewhere. Mbongo never started to be Mbongo. Why Thami pa epal? You understand? And when we started, you understand? Goalkeeper, bench. Yeah, sure. I'm sure in your life there are people that told you you are too young. You understand? Even in there, I remember things that you were standing for. You understand? Abanyabandu will insult you. You understand? But if we can live our lives on fear, you understand? Now the Bible teaches me that do not fear, for I am with you. Yeah. So I can go anywhere, I can do whatever I want. I do not fear anything.
Wanenza Loyiso Damoyi ndenze a disclaimer. There was one time in my life, I got to direct a show in Robben Island. You understand? With different people. It was some ages when former President Jacob Zuma was the deputy president. You understand? And I remember attending these meetings because we stayed in Robben Island for a couple of months because I was doing the research and writing the script and then rehearsing with the cast. And closer to the performance stages, means keeping on asking, what is your membership card? I'm like, what membership card? Which I comrade, even membership card. This is membership card now. Which I can your ANC. I finally lungiswe le nto kwathi ndabaleka ngelo xesha ndathi ndiyaninika le show ivule nibhatala imali and then I'm out in this project. You understand? That realize that sometimes you align in a political party, it's dangerous. Before we wrap up, Loyiso, how is your campaign of becoming the councillor candidate going so far? Just as Bonanyan, because this is not the opportunity for you to canvass, to campaign, but I just want to get a sense to understand how is your preparation so far, especially, you understand, do you think more artists should be involved in what is happening in their ward? You mentioned one of the other artists, Mfundo Hashe, who's an amazing guy. Yeah, we understand who's clear about, you understand, what needs to be done, and is also one of the councillor candidates, if I'm not mistaken, involved in the thing, you understand? So, what is your take?
I think my campaign is going well. You understand? Because the Ubuntu Thami that does is in the you understand? Or what might not be pleasing in other people's eye. You understand? To me, I know, okay, this one is good enough. I remember always thought about the pace. You always tell me, hey, slow and I need to be fast, you need to be fast. You need to, what's the CC? And I said, so I take that pace, but I make sure right there I know I'm gonna nail it. You understand? Of course, now I see things about as Boni. So the campaign is going very well. You understand? And most especially what it's a blessing in disguise. You understand? Because there was a lot of conflicts, within, with all this ANC or whatever, everybody wants to be whatever, you understand? So, and they ended up fighting together and sort of that, you understand? So I know a lot of people, because of the work that I do, there's a lot of people about, you know what, we're going to vote for you. You understand? I might not join you. You understand? What we need is vote. Yeah, because they know that putting me there, it's going to benefit the whole community. Today, I just started a program whereby I'm giving 30 opportunity to 30 young people to do e-licenses. You understand? And those services are free. And I didn't pay for them, Bhutan. It's a matter of when you think creatively, that I can tell you, listen, Ubani, I know owns the traffic department. Ubani, I know unemoto. Ubani, I know nine material. You understand? Let's look. I need this from you. I have even, you understand? Let's do this. It didn't need Imani because we already have the things within our community. You understand? So once the creative people get into these spaces, they start challenging the political thinking of the political way of thinking to a creative way of thinking. You understand? How do we solve problems within our community? Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not really about money, yeah. But it would be a bonus if I become councillor here, because now I'll know what the budget is available. Because we never ever get to know the budget of the young people. You understand? I know the artist. Cry artist is this. Luckily, Butami, I played the soccer. I played for Santos at the age of 17. I thought I was a good footballer, but it did not work out. You understand? I'm involved in business. I know most of the business guys in Khayelitsha. You understand? I'm involved in art. I'm involved in community development. You understand? I work for grassroots. I'm like working on e-health. You understand? So the fundamentals of developing a community, I basically have experience in those fields. I know the ins and outs. I know abantu banita ndoni in those fields. I know it's soccer lab, it's sport lab. Why singing up players means as in and why are not the ones we have are not being celebrated. Oh my ambela, you understand? But don't even see a picture of my ambela in any of the community, even in museums here. You understand? We don't celebrate the greatness of the Khayelitsha. Yeah, without being really celebrated. Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is they should get involved. Yeah. In fact, as you know, that I'm the acting chairperson. You understand? So it is one of my duties to get candidates. Yeah. So if artists out there in the Western Cape, from George until Cape Town, if you know you can be part of the APC and you want to stand for Uceba, give me a call. You understand? We'll just do a little background check to see that you are a credible person. You'll do what you say you'll do in your community. Otherwise, let's interfere those structures. Let's get into those structures. Let's make those changes. Because without us there, politicians, they will always see us as entertainers in their campaign. So these of Sabana Bako Bazo unikwe 4,000 rand, can you give 2,000 rand, whereas they take the rest of the cake. Don't be an entertainer, be an artist, be part of solving the problems. And if we get into space, we get into the spaces on the local ground. In the future, is a Snyder that thing business practices who's this guy or nothing theater, people that didn't even know nothing about art. Because the Moshagala up on the lower ground, that we don't get involved. Then we expect to have mayor or what do you call this? I don't know, these premiers. You understand? You cannot, if you're not getting involved, how will the people in the parliament get somebody that is in art? But when you're not even getting involved in your own work as an artist, you only want to receive. That's why they'll just take anyone. Let's grow within the politics, get involved, not only to be a politician, but to make a change within there.
Thank you very much, Loyiso. You've heard it for yourself. That was our guest today, Loyiso Damoyi, that has done amazing work. Khayelitsha, he's the 97 candidate, and also a candidate mayor APC as village as artist, especially in the Western Cape. If you want to associate yourself with the APC, you understand that be in touch with Loyiso, especially when you are passionate about sport, arts, and culture and other things. We understand as Vibes Chilo party it's launching a manifesto 24, and we looking forward 20
City, East London.
Okay, and it's really details. So look forward from me, Loyiso. Thank you very much for joining us. You understand? And in this show, we invite like various artists and people who are involved in the sector and talk about the work. We understand that is happening. And I think, is there any closing remarks on your side?
On my side, my fellow.
Okay, closing remarks.
My fellow South African, thank you very much. Let's keep each other safe. It's still COVID, as they say. Please keep safe and do me a huge favor. Keep on loving one another. You understand? We can only do this if we love one another and help one another. You understand? Imali, it's one of the problems. If you have resources, let's share the resources. If you have liked, other one has something, artists learn to share the resources. You understand? Don't hire resources to somebody that has the venue. Share, you understand? So that we can create a beautiful community. But for above all things, vote APC for good governance.
Okay, siyambapha umgibe uhamba ethengisa ipati yakhe. Anyway, once again, thank you very much for joining us, Loyiso, in the show. We are looking forward to what you are bringing in the future. To everyone that is watching the show, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. If you don't agree on something, speak. Yabasana, write down your comments so that we can engage. From me, Thami, we are out. Show brought to you by the Creative Passport. God bless.